Okay, since the rays are coming from cathode, that's why these rays are called cathode rays. After discovering these rays, they examine about these rays, they examine the rays, what are the characteristics of these rays. It was found that the cathode rays, that is the number one character of cathode rays always travel in straight line. How they prove it? By taking the shadow of an object. If the shadow is completely opposite side, that means the rays coming through straight line. For example, at the morning time when the sun rises, then what about your shadow? Your shadow goes that side. In the sunset time, in the evening time, your shadow goes this side. But at the midday time, your sun is like this. So when the rays directly falls, then what about the rays? What about the shadow? The shadow goes down. I mean, the rays are coming through straight line. So like this way you can find out the direction of the radiation, direction of the cathode rays. So he took some object and he followed the shadow of the object. If the shadow is completely opposite to that the object, that means the rays always moves in straight line. That is one of the character. After that, they carried out another experiment. They took one paddle wheel like this. They took one paddle wheel, and the paddle wheel is placed in between the electrode. When the rays strike the paddle wheel automatically start to rotate. So what does it mean? When the cathode rays strike the paddle wheel, the wheel automatically start to rotate. That means some particles should be present in these rays, and that particle when strike the wheel, then the wheel start to rotate. I mean, the cathode rays contain some particles. Without particle, they do not have any mass. Without mass, they cannot rotate the wheel. That means the rays, the cathode rays, contain some amount of mass. That's why they strike the wheel and the wheel start to rotate. I mean, cathode rays contain some particle. After getting this, two character you have got. Cathode rays always travel in straight line. Second character, when cathode rays falls on a paddle wheel, the wheel start to rotate. That means the cathode rays contain some particles. After that, they used one electric field. And magnetic field also. One is positive field, one is negative field. And they observed the cathode rays in that field. It was found that all the cathode rays, suppose this is positive field, this is negative field, and from this position the cathode rays were coming, all the cathode rays goes towards the positive field. No one goes towards negative. I mean, when you apply the electric field, all the cathode rays goes towards the positive field. So what does it mean? As you have got cathode rays contain some particle, and that particles are negatively charged. As you know, negative always attract towards the positive. That's why the rays moves towards the positive field. That means cathode rays contain some particle, and these particles are negatively charged, and these particles are named as electron. Actually, electrons are discovered like this way, by doing this discharge tube experiment. So here the important thing is the properties of cathode rays. Why they are called cathode rays? Because these rays coming from cathode. In the experiment they have got, when they strike the paddle wheel, when the paddle wheel start to rotate, that means the cathode rays contain some particle. And when they apply the electric field, it was found that all the cathode rays goes towards the positive field. That means cathode rays contain some particles, and these particles are negatively charged, and that's why they move towards the positive field. And these negative charged particles are named as electron. Actually, electrons are discovered like this way. After discovering this electron, one of the scientists, Thomson discovered the E by m value for electron. E means the charge of electron, m means the mass of electron, and it is found that it becomes 1.7589 into 10 to the power 11 coulomb per kg. This value given by Thomson. Thomson determined the charge by mass ratio, and it was found that for electron the charge by mass ratio is 1.7589 into 10 to the power 11 coulomb per kg. And one of the scientists, Malikan determined the charge of electron by applying one oil drop method. He find out the charge of electron, and the charge of electron Malikan got 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. So Thomson determined E by m value, and one of the scientists, Malikan, Mulliken, Malikan determined the charge of electron 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. So when you know about E by m value, when you know about E value, then you can find out the m value also. And like this way, when they determine the value of m, I mean mass of electron, it was found to be 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31 kg. So like this way, the mass of electron were discovered. Actually, directly mass of electron was not discovered. First time, Thomson determined the charge by mass ratio, and one of the scientists, Malikan, determined the charge of electron by doing the oil drop method. After that, they find out the mass of electron, and the mass of electron is found to be 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31 kg. It's a very negligible mass. So like this way, the electrons were discovered. Now about the discovery of proton. Discovery of proton. Here also they carried out one discharge tube experiment. This is your discharge tube. This is cathode, this is anode. Here also they use some gases. This is anode. But in this experiment, the name of the scientist was E. Goldstein. He carried out this experiment, E. Goldstein, and he used the vacuum pump also. This is vacuum pump. But what did by your Goldstein? Goldstein used one perforated cathode like this. Perforated cathode means inside the cathode some holes are present inside the cathode. That is called perforated cathode. He used one perforated cathode, and he took one gas inside the discharge tube. This is the perforated cathode. When the pressure of the gas become low, and when high voltage electricity is passed through the gas, then it is found that since the cathode is perforated, since some holes are present, some rays were coming from the anode to cathode side, and the cathode side begins to glow. These rays are coming from anode, and that's why these rays are called anode rays. So these are anode rays. Like cathode ray, anode rays also travel in straight line. When anode rays are placed in a paddle wheel, the paddle wheel start to rotate like cathode ray. That means anode ray also contains some particle, and when they apply the electric field, it was found that all the anode rays goes towards the negative field. That means anode rays contain some particle which are positively charged, and these positively charged particles are named as proton. So like this way, protons were discovered. Like electron, E by m value for proton also measured, but it was found that the E by m value for proton is depends on the nature of the gas. What gas you have taken, depending on that you will get different value of E by m for the protons. If you take hydrogen gas, then you will get the highest value of E by m. So if you take oxygen gas, then you will get lower value. Like that, depending on the nature of the gas, you will get different E by m value for the protons. So like this way, the electrons and protons were discovered. Thank you.